Hi everybody, welcome back to Cat on Point. It is Weigh-In Wednesday. Good morning everybody. It is Thursday morning. Yesterday was my Weigh-In Wednesday and I'm redoing the video because I think I just need to give you more information. Okay, so I got on the scale yesterday and remember the 1.6 pounds that I lost last week? Found them this week. So 1.6 up exactly. So a bit of a teeter-totter going on. 2 weeks ago, up 1.6, down 1.6 last week, up 1.6 again. And when that kind of thing happens, it could be very, very frustrating. And that's just how it goes sometimes. It's the weight loss. That's how it goes sometimes. Really, I'm down about 7 pounds from when I started really trying to lose about 15 or 20, right? And looking at that, I honestly am not bummed out about where I'm at. My sizing, I'm okay with my sizing, but I just want to take off. Now I can take off about 10 more, which is the last 10, which is the toughest 10 to get rid of. I'd be really happy, but that being said, I'm not unhappy with my body at this point, but it is extremely frustrating when you're on the teeter-totter of those last 10 pounds, and that's where I'm at right now. Now, there's moments of extreme frustration. So, I made all these wonderful choices throughout the day. And if I had to have something a little heavier at lunch, then I made sure, me, I'll have my soup and a piece of toast at dinner, or I'll have a really small dinner, right? And that seemed to have worked the week before. Now, even though I did exercise like every single morning, do my arm workout and added a few more exercises. So now I'm up to like 25 minutes in the morning. But I probably got on the treadmill and did like a half an hour walk once, maybe twice last week, if even twice, because it was so busy and our schedule was just like piled up with functions and things that we needed to do. I still ended up on those heavy function days getting like, somewhere between 12 and 16,000 steps for the day, which is a pretty good amount. I mean, I went to sleep and my legs and my hips were tired. So I look at that and it's like, it's not like I didn't really get those steps in that day. So it is perplexing. I can't say that the stress has been up a little bit, but not significantly. There were a couple days when I didn't get a lot of sleep. My husband's been having to work late in his office here. His office is at home, but I can't, if he's not going to sleep with me, it's really hard for me to sleep. I have an uneasiness. And so I didn't get a lot of sleep on those days. And so I don't know, there could be a lot of stuff. I've been trying to have my water, you know what I mean? Why up to 1.6? I don't know. But yesterday I got a little frustrated and I had kind of a crash and burn moment, and not usually something I would do, but there was just, I guess there was a lot of stress yesterday and stuff going on, and I came to the point where I kind of had it, right? And now I have a friend who lost her husband not long ago, and I saw that she had posted the invite for his celebration of life, and for some reason I had it in my head that it was yesterday evening. And so there's going to be a potluck following, and I thought, oh, I need to go and I need to take something. So I said, okay. I told my husband, well, I need to run to the store and get something because I really didn't have time to put anything together for a potluck. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to grab something from the store. And so I ran to the grocery store, and I'm looking around for something to take to a potluck. I go to the deli counter and I'm looking at all these salads and everything they got back there, chicken salad, macaroni salad. And honestly, everything was like discolored. I don't know if I was like late in the day or what, but it all looked like it was just old. And honestly, all that was missing was like a couple flies being in the under the glass with all this stuff. And I'm like, ew, I'm not taking any of that. So I go back to the bakery and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to take some desserts because I looked by the fruit and they didn't have any fruit trays. And so I went back to the bakery and I settled on a couple of these boxes of like bear claws, but they were cut into like 3 pieces. So they're, pretty like finger style food. And so I got 2 of those. I didn't know how many people were going to be there, so I got a box of donuts as well, and then I did get a box of sliced apples that were from the produce department. And so I thought, okay, I'll take all these, I'll put everything on the dessert table. I go home, and for some reason I thought, something's odd about the date. I'm going to double check my calendar. I put down all the food in the kitchen and honey was, kind of going through the bags. What'd you get? And I said, I need to check the date. Hold on, I'll be right back. And my honey's so funny. Okay, so I go check the date and I see that it's not September, it's October. It wasn't yesterday. And so I thought, oh, dummy me, how could I, mess that up? Well, whatever. Okay. Oh, I was so frustrated and I was in such a hurry to do this and get it done. I didn't want to be late. And we actually were not going to go to another event because, that was pretty important. And so, now we're kind of flip-flopping back and forth with the things we have to do. By the time I make it back to the kitchen to tell my husband, he had his cappuccino machine going and the box of donut lid. So he heard me that this was the wrong date. Flipped open the lid. There were already 2 halves of donuts gone. And he was waiting for that coffee to come out. He's like, I'm having donuts. And at this point, nothing says come sin with me more than an open box of donuts and bites taken, right? And I looked and I thought, I'm stressed. I'm mad because I'm up 1.6 this week. Let me do this and tell the scale, how do you like me now? Right? I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll join you. I am going to snip a couple of pieces off of these things. I didn't go to town, but I tried them. And honestly, I'm kind of glad I did because they were stale. And I didn't want to take stale donuts to something like that. So I'm glad it was the wrong date and I didn't take this stuff. But I thought, these aren't even that good to use the calories on. And so I went over to the Bear Claw and I thought, let me see if these were any good or are these stale? Okay, yeah, let me inspect it, right? And so I take a bite. Oh my goodness, you guys, that was so good. And I hope I'm not triggering anybody on doing this. But really, it's not worth the calories, guys. But at the time, I was like, this is fresh and good. And I'm just doing this. I'm going to deal with the consequences, later. I'm just going to have a few pieces here. And yeah, then we went to church that night because we had a special night, and there was a special celebration, and they had a big celebration afterward since it's Hispanic Heritage Month, and we have a large number we have a very diverse group in our church. So we have a wonderful Latin service as well. And then we have the English service. And so during this month, we have like a celebration. They'll have like this wonderful food, all this Latin food, and it's so good. And I didn't, I had a little bit of a taste of this and that, but normally I probably wouldn't have. After those donuts, I wouldn't have eaten anything. I wouldn't have eaten anything that night. So I'm just like, let's just go with tonight and just do as little damage now as possible. And we did, we did okay. But that was yesterday. So it was kind of like, do you remember the $6 million man? Remember the $6 million man at the beginning? I recently bought the whole set for our kids. And so they're watching those now, and they really like them a lot. And at the beginning, he's coming in back into the atmosphere in his rocket or whatever. And, it seems like everything's going okay. And then at the last minute, he crashes and burns horribly, right? And then they go into the whole, gentlemen, we can rebuild him faster, stronger, better than he was before, right? And he becomes this $6 million man. I love the beginning of that. But that's kind of how my week was. It was kind of like I was doing great, coming in for the landing. I was watching everything, doing really good. And then at the last moment, there was this crash and burn, right? And so that's the way it was, although let me be very honest. I did get lazy about, I had a lot of confidence in my choosing based on, what I was eating before when I was doing calories and points. I pretty much was carrying that over. And I thought, I can do this. And plus it was really busy. It was easy to keep pushing off till later in putting my information in the tracker. I'll do it later. And then maybe I did. So I got a little lazy about tracking last week. Obviously, I don't need to be doing that. I think tracking can help me stay even more conscious about what I'm doing. But anyway, so this week, here we go. I don't know if I'm going to do calories this week. I don't think I'm going to do calories this week, but I am going to do points, and I'm going to have to document everything. I'm going to have to see you guys every single day and just call myself back in here. I'll show you what I'm having every single day. And this week, I just need to be really conscious about a lot of things, right? I need to be stronger, faster, and better than I was last week, apparently. I needed to be the $6 million woman this week. I remember that one too, but I didn't like that show with Jamie Summers, the $6 million woman, as much as I did the $6 million man. And once they started, do you remember when they brought in the androids and when they started taking the faces off of the androids? I think that's when the show really jumped the shark, right? When they kind of started losing it. They took that face off and you could just see these really big robot eyes and all this gear and stuff, and it freaked me out so bad. And I'm like, I didn't like it after that because I felt like you never knew who was a robot and who wasn't. And it was just a little too much for me. Like the $6 million woman was not too much for me. But anyway, it had some sort of element beforehand of reality in a kid's mind, I guess. Anyway, so I'm going to let you go for now. I will show you what I'm having for breakfast, and then I will get this edited and send it out. I hope you're having a wonderful week. How did it go for you this week? Thanks for listening. And guess what? Tonight's date night. So, and I think it's my pick. If we get to go, then it's my pick. And I'm thinking that Olive Garden sounds really good because I just want a little soup and salad and then I'll be okay. So that's what I'm going to probably pick if it's my pick. I'll see you later. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Okay, I am looking at breakfast here. This is about 5 points. I've got 1 egg, half a cup of egg whites, a banana, just a smattering of blueberries on top, 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds on my oatmeal, and I've got a cup of cooked oats with like 1/3 of a tablespoon of chia seeds cooked into it, and 2 tablespoons of nut pods here for 1 point, and some brown sugar swerve in it. And this is my breakfast.